Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Ottawa Market. And today we're talking about book self-publishing and secrets for writers or authors, rather, whichever you want to use, writers or authors who are interested in self-publishing these days, which self-publishing is all the rage. And this is a book that I had published. It was published since 1997. This book was published. So you can tell from this book from 1997, and now is 2026, that I have over 25 years as an experienced writer. So today I'm talking about, it's basically a mini-series I'm doing on self-publishing tips for writers who want to self-publish. So the tip today in my little mini-series is secrets, so to speak, if you're trying to get your book copy edited. So again, this is from 1997. I was very pleased with how this book turned out. It's in different libraries all over the world, and it was featured. And I had an interview when it first came out, and Voice of America, Canadian media, all over the place. So let's talk about today in this little episode about writers who want to get their book copy edited. Now, there are just a few things that writers need to be concerned about. The first thing is that we're all looking at deals, we're all looking great deals as far as the cheapest price to get your book copy edited. But too many writers, what they do is that they think they're getting a wonderful deal, and it's not really a good deal because it's cheap, but your book is not properly edited. Many times I've seen writers who bring to me their books and they say, "Oh, look at this book, I got it at a cheap deal." Well, it's not a good deal if it's is not right, or if it's like, there versus there, it's like all kinds of mistakes in the book. So what happens is that lots of editors, they'll go on various sites and advertise their services and give a good deal. It's because they're only giving a half-hearted job. So if you're getting 30% of what you normally commercially pay, and only the editor chooses only to focus on 30% of your mistakes, you're wasting your money. So authors, what I recommend them do is that they only ask a potential editor to do a sample of maybe 3 to 5 pages of their book. And if you like the way that's edited, then by all means, use their services, or maybe you might want to cross-reference it with somebody else who's an editor to find out whether, in fact, they got most or pretty much, hopefully, all of their all your copying, editing mistakes. So you want to make sure that if you're getting a cheap price, the editor is getting 99.9, if not 100%, of all the mistakes that need to be edited. Don't pay money on editors that are going to give you a half-hearted job because you're giving a cheap price. That's my tip number one. Don't just think that the price you're getting is going to be paying for all of the things that need to be done on your book, whether it's improve sentences, syntax, correcting grammar mistakes. Make sure that you get what you're paying for as far as a good price and an editor that does their job and doesn't do a half-hearted job. Too many writers, they go out there and just think that they're, I got a cheap price, but maybe the writer did a half-hearted job. Second thing is be careful of where you get your copy editing done, because I've heard a horror story from a writer south of the border in Vermont. They went and got their book edited. It was an extremely good book, but the editor, it was connected with some big publishing house, which was connected in turn to a very prominent multi-billion-dollar movie studio, made her book into a movie. She was a lawyer, no use for her to try to sue, because they said, "Oh, well, we'll just claim it was our idea, not yours." So be careful where you get your copy editing done. Be careful of plagiarism. It's very hard to protect your book from plagiarism. So, be careful, because you can end up giving your ideas out and somebody else takes them and then reproduces them and said that they done it, particularly if they're very well financed. So be careful where you're getting your copy editing done, because especially if you go to a copy editor and says, oh, well, I got it done at this big, somebody who works with this company. Well, maybe because they work with that company is going to make your book more vulnerable for your editing to be stolen. Your work to be stolen, rather, your book. So be careful where you're getting your book, who is editing your book. Be careful of that. Make sure there's somebody honest, ethical, check the reviews. If possible, if they're on Google, check the reviews. Very important. So that's number 2. Be careful of where you're getting your copy editing done. Make sure step number 1 or suggestion number 1. Make sure that you are getting a quality copy editing of your book. Tip number 3, if your book is a fiction book, you cannot rely on just a regular copy editor. You'll need a developmental editor, because a developmental editor is going to go through your book a lot more carefully to make sure that characters don't drop off the page. You has to make sure that there's a consistent development of your book, as far as character development, as far as all aspects of your fiction book, to make sure they're all intertwined. Your characters, your development, to make suggestions to your book. Developmental editor is a lot more intense. So if your book is fiction, get a developmental editor unless you're 100% confident of that there's no type of other problems going on in your book that needs a developmental editor. If you're nonfiction, you can just rely on a conventional copy editor, but make sure that you're getting your book copy edited well. So if you're nonfiction, copy editor, but if you're fiction, you're going to need a developmental editor. If you need help with getting a developmental editor, you need help with getting a good copy editor, contact us. I'll provide contact information below to make sure that you are getting the quality that you're paying for. Thanks for watching another edition of The Ottawa Market, and if you're looking for experience in any of the other aspects of your book, reach out to us as well. Thanks for watching. And one more thing, remember to subscribe to this video if you want to keep track of tips. If you like this video, if you're a writer, new, or you're a writer that wants to improve previous work that you've done, make sure you get a good copy editor, because if you want to become a bestseller, you're not going to become a bestseller if your book is not done properly. But if you don't care about that, even not concerned about being a bestseller, you just want to experiment, don't worry about copy editing. But in my view, you should, if you want to put your best foot forward. Thanks for watching. And please subscribe to this video to keep track of other related videos like this one.